Morning, I have with me Ambassador Rilwan Ayoola Lawal. Good morning.
Good morning, Mr. Oluwafemi.
Thank you very much. This morning, I'll be asking some important questions, and my guest this morning will be providing answers. Like I told you earlier, he is the chairman of the Scandinavian countries, the APC wing of the Scandinavian countries. Sir, to start with, could you tell our listeners or viewers a little bit about yourself, sir?
Yeah, of course. My name is Lawal Rilwan Ayoola. Presently, the chairman of All Progressive Congress in Scandinavia. I'm a global affair analyst and a social entrepreneur, and as well as a father of one, and as well as, more importantly, an active Nigerian citizen. Thank you.
What really led you out of this country? Is it in pursuit of greener pasture or like the usual Nigerian?
Well, that's a very good question, and that has been my ultimate pursuit to really advance myself educationally, and I was fortunate to be one of the Norfolk scholarship awardees and to read global project and program management and administration. That's what really led me out of the country. And after that, I furthered my studies in different countries, and I'm happy today that I'm proud to be a global affair analyst because I had an MS in global management at Salford Business School, that is at Salford University, Manchester. Thank you.
And for how long have you been away before you moved back?
Well, moving back is relative because I've always been in and out of the country, and I've never left my home for real for so long. But though I'm residing in the Scandinavia countries, specifically Sweden, and I've been for over more than a decade. I've been out of the country. Basically, I've relocated over a decade ago, but not up to 15 years.
Okay. So your line of career, what's actually prompted your line of career?
Which one precisely? Is it the politics or global affair? Well, the way things have been happening across the globe, and the idea I'm having right from my childhood about the way the world could be or the world should be has prompted me to move in that line. And politically, when I was a kid, I could remember my father always bring home what's it called, Tell magazine and News magazine, and then he always encouraged us to read, to know more about current affairs and whatnot. And going through, unfortunately, it was a military era, though. We tend to witness more of the military than the civilian era, and the way things have been going in the country. My family have been very active. They are still active in politics, especially my mom and my extended family. And one incident really really engaged me fully in politics. Hospital, and I came to the lobby for fresh air and watched TV. Suddenly, I could remember vividly that two women came in. They ran into the hospital. Then the doctor came out and collected the child without any question, which is quite different from now. She went in after like 5 to 10 minutes. She came out and asked some questions from the woman that what happened to this child. They say, oh, do the child was sick. She said, yeah, I'm aware of that. What really happened? I said, oh, she was having a lot of temperature, this and that. I said, okay, what haven't you brought the child earlier? The response was, no money. Then she asked again, you got the money now? I said, no. Then why are you here? I said, wow, we can no longer tolerate what is happening to this child. That's why we brought this child. And the doctor said, unfortunately, the child passed on. It was in my presence. I really observed that, and it got me thinking about what is really happening. That why should it be this way? And when I got to advanced country, I saw it was another ball game entirely. Then I became really active, by joining the political party over there. And when the opportunity came, I joined all this to form ACN, which based on their ideology, because there seems to be a socialist party, which transformed now to APC. That is the story.
And would you consider yourself a success in that your chosen lineup?
Well, of course, I will always consider myself a success based on my own definition of success. It might be different from other people, but whatever you meant, or what was your own meaning of success, I don't know. But for myself, where I'm fulfilled, and if you're fulfilled in whatever you're doing, you are a successful person. However, I'm not content. I believe I can still do more.
And moving to politics, how would you rate Nigerian politics compared to what you witnessed while you were in Sweden?
Well, that's a very, very great question. And oftentimes I've been faced with this kind of question. But I will still give the same answer, the same reply I've been giving to people, response I've been giving to several journalists, both whites, Caucasian, and black. It will be unfair for me to compare because they are uncomparable. Because in advanced country, the DNA of any political setting is ideology. However, it's quite unfortunate that my homeland, my country home, we're still crawling and getting to that stage, because in the world so far we tend to know the right wing, left wing, the central right, central left. But it's unfortunate that here in Africa, especially in my country home, my place of birth, we cross suddenly because of one, we cross from a right wing to a left wing. We're not even center. It's quite unfortunate, and I challenge the youths, this present generation, the youths, to change the narratives in years to come, because we are in a terrible.
Okay, talking about the Nigerians in the diaspora, do you think they have been, or this government have really encouraged them to get actively involved in election processes, like we have in other advanced countries where you are opportune to vote wherever you are? Do you think Nigerians have been given that same opportunity?
Well, I think you're asking that question, Mr. Femi, for action's sake. We can't vote in the diaspora. We've been fighting for it. I'm part of the member. We made different presentations at different parliaments, and I could recall the present one at the House of Commons, in which the national chairman of APC in Scandinavia countries. Sweden has its own autonomy. All the Scandinavia countries are having their autonomy, and it's just like the way it is. Lagos State, Oyo, Ondo, Samfara, Nasarawa, Enugu, just the way it is. And at the national level, we have the national executive. I'm the national executive now. I said, okay, to replicate it, I'm like Joshua Mole now. That is the way it is. Yes, it's not just Sweden. I'm not the chairman of APC Sweden. APC Sweden is a unit on its own. the Scandinavia is a region because we have one embassy that covers the entire region. That is why we have APC Scandinavia.
Still talking about diaspora. How do you meet since you are scattered all around the countries?
Well, that's a very good one, and I will want you to know that we are very active on what's it called? We make use of electronics a lot. We make use of internet a lot. Skype meeting is our usual way of meeting, and all the ways of go-to meetings. We have a lot of conference meetings, in which like you are with each other. And sometimes we meet in some. It tends to like organize meeting around, and when we're organizing a very big one, though it has most of our meetings have always been through e-conference and using different platforms, and we've been very, very active because the platform is excellent because we have no disturbance regarding the issue we have around in terms of making use of the internet and making use of the e-conference facilities. I think we've been very, very active. That is why the world is quite flat. You don't need to be physical. It's a global which is flat. You don't need to be have seen each other physically. However, you still see, through camera. The issue we always been having there is about the timing, while like Philippines, maybe 10 o'clock in Europe or somewhere. It's the timing, the time difference, the GMT difference. That has always been the major issue. However, we've been able to manage it effectively by sacrificing time to make sure that we always come up with effective and efficient meetings.
And the APC government right in Nigeria. So what contact do you have with them? What are they doing to support you?
Well, we have a very cordial relationship because these are certified charters, not just charter that was set up on their own. Or you could set up you need to pass through certain processes, and once you pass through that, through the leadership of diaspora desk headed by Senator Lawal, who is presently the Deputy National Chairman North. We have a cordial relationship with the APC headquarters, and whatever we're doing internationally or locally, they always get us involved. Though it was the first time we had representation at the national conference we had in Abuja 2008. We're given opportunity to be part of the organizing committees, and our members were given opportunities to be part of the process, which went quite well and inspiring. We have a very cordial relationship, and everything is ever an ongoing and is ever improving thing. Thank you.
Moving to your own political ambition now, would you be running for any political office very soon?
In Nigeria?
Yes.
Of course. As you could see everywhere as we're coming to lists, seeing our some of our banners synthesizing people about the power of PVC, and we've decided that it's now time for us to take it from the own fund because a lot. How can we not put this into use? We have to certify the actual chapters across the globe. The networks. How won't we try to bring it on? Fortunate to be from the Scandinavia countries, best countries in the world by all indices. And one thing I will want Nigerians to know is that the bedrock of any developed community are the political parties, and they are well established over there, and we have contact and we are well recognized through the networks. Foreign direct investment, we've been doing a lot even without coming home, but we now think that it's now time for some of us to start coming home to really maximize the potential and connect, bridge the gap between developed world and developing countries, and properly bring on board the real democracy, the way it is being practiced in those advanced countries, because all these democracies we were brought to us, really in terms of what we're practicing now and the way they are really doing it properly. And from diaspora, we are living it. Why can't we just try? It's a lot of sacrifice. It's a lot of sweat. It's a lot of pain. Wow, I'll tell you, I bet you it's a lot. You just have to, fair enough, we have to like kind of sacrifice. And that's why I decided to take it from one of the areas that we believe is the bedrock of any development, which is.
Do you see any credible or strong opposition on the way for you to achieve your political ambition?
Well, fair enough. I won't tell you that there are no credible candidates. There are. However, we need more than just being credible. You know what I'm saying? Fair enough. If we're looking at how it's been done in advanced countries, I think we have no competitors. We're supposed to have automatic ticket. What we've done for the party, because with my team, I grew the party in 5 different countries with no budget. Actively in 4. And these are best countries in the world. First time. You know, a lot of things we brought in, like the waste to energy, we brought the Europeans to get involved. How to even convert underwater, under waste and surface waste to energy. Not to talk of the team, we got $1.6 million for Chibok girls rehabilitation and development of, you know. Is it the active participation of coming from such a distance, coming home, leaving your family, everything, you know, paying for ticket, everything you've done for the party, you know, being part of campaigns, you know. So what do we really want to say? Not to talk of the wheelchairs we're part of bringing for the Lagos State government. A lot have been done. More could still be done. You know, that is why I want to talk of those things, because now the country is quite in a mess. And money is playing a very big role now because of the level of poverty. But what we've been telling people now is your PVC is your ultimate power. Election could be rigged against you, but not recall. Not recall. Because when we moved around, we tend to understand that people are even getting the PVC because they want to vote. Because they might have one thing or the other to do with the government or some institution that are making it mandatory for you to have PVC. So we know people contesting or people vying for these offices are still part of us. They are not from other planets. And if people could go in and borrow money, sell the properties, of course they want to recoup. But now it's time for people to check the pedigree, to look at the past. What are the people that are contesting? What are their pedigrees? What do they stand for? What have they done to advance their country? What have they done to advance the party before just coming out? Not just you will just come out and nothing can build international exposure. Nothing. No amount of education. We could say it. We have it all. We school in different part of the world. We've been with the government across the world. We fought for the countries across the world. Then what else? Then we need to start to see. We've been involved in scholarship. We've got for people, you know, and we are still engaging, and they're still there. But wow, that is what I'm bringing about. It's more than just coming, you know, to say, oh, we want to make love for you. We are not making love for people. We are turning what people want into laws, and we are going further to lobby with the executives to make sure that what they want and what they need becomes what. And if they don't, we arm twist. If we can't arm twist, we call these people to protest. But start to have a change. People should look at, people should know, people should understand one thing. We either work collectively, leave money, not completely though. You know what I'm saying? We choose based on credibility, based on some factors, not just about money. Because for how long can we continue this way? We can't. When we compare to where we're coming from now, we left this country, we know what has been happening. Nothing has really changed much. You know, and what has changed is some people are progressing materially, but collectively we have been a retrogressive mindset. We need a new paradigm shift, and you can't get it except from the people from diaspora. I'm sorry to say that.
Thank you very much. You've said a lot. From what you said, you seem not
the national chairman of APC in Scandinavia countries. Sweden has its own autonomy. All the Scandinavia countries are having their autonomy, and it's just like the way it is. Lagos State, Oyo, Ondo, Samfara, Nasarawa, Enugu, just the way it is. And at the national level, we have the national executive. I'm the national executive now. I said, okay, to replicate it, I'm like Joshua Male now. That is the way it is. Yes, it's not just Sweden. You know, I'm not the chairman of APC Sweden. APC Sweden is a unit on its own. You know, the Scandinavia is a region because we have one embassy that covers the entire region. That is why we have APC Scandinavia.
Still talking about diaspora. How do you meet since you are scattered all around the countries?
Well, that's a very good one, and I will want you to know that we are very active on what's it called? We make use of electronics a lot. We make use of internet a lot. Skype meeting is our usual way of meeting, and all the ways of go-to meetings. We have a lot of conference meetings, you know, in which like you are with each other. And sometimes we meet in some. It tends to like organize meeting around, you know, and when we're organizing a very big one, though it has most of our meetings have always been through e-conference and using different platforms, and we've been very, very active because the platform is excellent because we have no disturbance regarding the issue we have around in terms of making use of the internet and making use of the e-conference facilities. I think we've been very, very active. That is why the world is quite flat. You don't need to be physical. It's a global which is flat. You don't need to be see each other physically. However, you still see, through camera. The issue we always been having there is about the timing, wildlife Philippines, maybe 10 o'clock in Europe or somewhere. And the timing, the time difference, the GMT difference, that has always been the major issue. However, we've been able to manage it effectively by sacrificing time to make sure that we always come up with effective and efficient meetings.
And the APC government right in Nigeria. So what contact do you have with them? What are they doing to support you?
Well, we have a very cordial relationship because these are certified charters, not just charter that was set up on their own. Before you could set up you need to pass through certain processes, and once you pass through that, through the leadership of diaspora desk headed by Senator Lawal who is presently the Deputy National Chairman North. We have a cordial relationship with the APC headquarters, and whatever we're doing internationally or locally, they always get us involved. Though it was the first time we had representation at the national conference we had in Abuja 2008. We're given opportunity to be part of the organizing committees, and our members were given opportunities to be part of the process, which went quite well and inspiring. We have a very cordial relationship, and everything is ever an ongoing and is ever improving thing. Thank you.
Moving to your own political ambition now, would you be running for any political office very soon?
In Nigeria? Yes. Of course. As you could see everywhere as we're coming on lists, seeing our some of our banners synthesizing people about the power of PVC, and we've decided that it's now time for us to take it from the home fund because a lot. We not put this into use. We have to certify the actual chapters across the globe. The networks. How won't we try to bring it on? Fortunate to be from the Scandinavia countries, best countries in the world by all indices. And one thing I will want Nigerians to know is that the bedrock of any developed community are the political parties, and they are well established over there, and we have contact and we are well recognized. through the networks, foreign direct investment. We've been doing a lot, even without coming home. But we now think that it's now time for some of us to start coming home to really maximize the potential and connect, bridge the gap, between developed world and developing countries, and properly bring on board the real democracy, the way it is being practiced in those advanced countries, because all these democracies we were brought to us, really in terms of what we're practicing now and the way they are really doing it properly. And from diaspora, we are living it. Why can't we just pay? It's a lot of sacrifice, it's a lot of sweat, it's a lot of pain. Wow, I'll tell you, I bet you it's a lot. You just have to, fair enough, we have to kind of sacrifice. And that's why I decided to take it from one of the areas that we believe is the bedrock of any development, which is.
Do you see any credible or strong opposition on the way for you to achieve your political ambition?
Well, fair enough. I won't tell you that there are no credible candidates. There are. However, we need more than just being credible. You know what I'm saying? Fair enough. If we're looking at how it's been done in advanced countries, I think we have no competitors. We're supposed to have automatic tickets. What we've done for the party, because with my team, I grew the party in 5 different countries with no budget. Actively in 4. And these are best countries in the world. First time. A lot of things we brought in, like the waste to energy, we brought the Europeans to get involved. How to even convert underwater, under waste and surface waste to energy. Not to talk of the team, we got $1.6 million for Chibok girls rehabilitation and development of, is it the active participation of coming from such a distance, coming home, leaving your family, everything, paying for ticket, everything you've done for the party, being part of campaigns, so what do we really want to say? Not to talk of the witches we're part of bringing for the Lagos State government. A lot have been done. More could still be done. That is why I want to talk of those things, because now the country is quite in a mess. And money is playing a very big role now because of the level of poverty. But what we've been telling people now is your PVC is your ultimate power. Election could be rigged against you, but not recall. Not recall. Because when we moved around, we tend to understand that people are even getting the PVC because they want to vote. Because they might have one thing or the other to do with the government or some institution that are making it mandatory for you to have PVC. So we know people contesting or people vying for these offices are still part of us. They are not from other planets. And if people could go in and borrow money, sell the properties, of course they want to recoup. But now it's time for people to check the pedigree, to look at the past. What are the people that are contesting? What are their pedigrees? What do they stand for? What have they done to advance their country? What have they done to advance the party before just coming out? Not just you just come out and nothing can beat international exposure. Nothing. No amount of education. We could say it. We have it all. We school in different part of the world. We've been with the government across the world. We fought for the countries across the world. Then what else? Then we need to start to see. We've been involved in scholarship. We've got for people, and we are still engaging, and they're still there. But wow, that is what I'm bringing about. It's more than just coming, to say, oh, we want to make love for you. We are not making love for people. We are turning what people want into laws, and we are going further to lobby with the executives to make sure that what they want or what they need becomes what. And if they don't, we arm twist. If we can't arm twist, we call these people to protest. But start to have a change. People should look at, people should understand one thing. We either work collectively, leave money, not completely though. You know what I'm saying? We choose based on credibility, based on some factors, not just about money. Because for how long can we continue this way? We can't. When we compare to where we're coming from now, we left this country, we know what has been happening. Nothing has really changed much. You know, and what has changed is some people are progressing materially, but collectively we have a retrogressive mindset. We need a new paradigm shift. And you can get it except from the people from diaspora. I'm sorry to say that.
Yeah, you seem not satisfied with Nigerian politics from the person you said you lost, the kind of shoddy arrangements at the hospital, and you seem not satisfied the way you express yourself. But if given opportunity to run for any of these top offices, what would you be bringing in differently, or what do you think you could do that could bring a positive change?
Well, that's a very impressive question, and I'll be glad to open my mind on that question. You know, I would rather say if I've been given further opportunities, because I've been given the opportunity to serve Nigeria in diaspora, and to my ability, I would say I've done it excellently well. I've done a lot of things for the country, and if well managed or utilized, I think a lot of things would have changed for my people. However, if, based on your question now, being elected as a next House of Representative for Fakwaja constituency 01, one major thing I would like to change is to inspire people, because people are losing hope. And how do we inspire these people? By working on the policy agenda we've set out to implement in our community, which is about inclusiveness, education, empowerment, air care, social welfare, foreign policy and housing, in a way that will impact their lives. And if we could make policies, law, act, and rules that could bring to light how they've been doing it in the advanced world, I think we achieved 60%. I think those are the main changes. Policies that will be able to inspire people, and acts that will be able to protect people, to give us a new paradigm shift in the way we see governance. And inclusiveness is one thing. I want to make it bottom up, not up to bottom, not the pyramid, because the pyramid is upside down now. I want to kind of see that I could try my little best with my people to see that we have the pyramid in the normal direction, because it's upside down now. Everything is quite challenging, but we hope we can inspire. And I will tell you this: we've been seeing results because people are coming up, people are volunteering to be part of our campaign. I think before you left, how many people have been there today? They are volunteers. They're ready to. They've listened to us. They've been inspired, and they've seen a new thing entirely about how politics or how campaigns are managed. Even our campaign is not managed by any money-backed politicians, and even the DG of our campaign is not like a politician. We're doing things differently. We are letting people see that you can be a leader without title. We are letting them to have that issue. There's hope there, but you have to go for it. That is what we want to bring. You know what I'm saying? All we are bringing in to inspire people that there's a new type of leadership that is emerging in the world, and we can plug and play into it. That is what we want to bring.
Thank you very much. Still on the Nigerians in diaspora, you are coming on board now, and if peradventure you are able to secure that ticket into the house. So is there anything you are doing to bring up more Nigerians in diaspora? Because like you said, our mentality here is kind of different from, you see things work in other countries seamlessly. Let that same thing be brought to Nigeria, to see it the other way around. So are there other Nigerians in diaspora that you are bringing up, maybe to succeed you or go the way you are, in order to change the orientations of Nigerians?
Well, I like that question. But the issue on ground is not bringing. Yeah, I have some mentees. But this is a personal thing. It's a personal decision because there's a lot of sacrifice, and there are several ways to change things in your country, anywhere in the world. Though I've chosen politics, and I encourage others to get involved. They might not be vying for political offices, but to get involved in politics. However, I think I will encourage more diaspora people to come in, though, because we are like, as we are here now, we are like the enemy. Oh, we have been working there. They don't know what we've been doing. They want to come and use their this to take over this and that. Well, okay, sure enough, fair enough. You need to be informed. See what we've been doing. Well, none of you have done half, not even 1/4 of what we've done for the party. You know, most people will say I've been using resources of the party to build the party. These are our own hard-earned money. All we can do, all I could do, is to inspire people. Once we inspire people, you get what I'm saying, they move for it. And give them, let them know it's possible, because most people living in diaspora don't believe in our system. When Nigerians living in Nigeria doesn't believe in the system, what about people living where everything is functioning? How could you leave your family? Is it normal to leave your family, the loved ones, and pay this price? It's a calling. If it's not a calling, you can't call anybody to do it. They need to be inspired first. But how do we inspire them to see they are possible? If they could see that, okay, Ayoola Lawal has done it, or a lot of people have done it, because we have so many Nigerians in diaspora now back home trying to do the same. And one of our chairmen too trying to do the same. And we have some other of our members trying to do the same. But we hope and we pray, we could get some of them in place that really understand what we're talking about. And I'll say, if we inspire them, we are able to soften the ground for them. Possible also, and they could venture to move on. Now we can support them with whatever we have. If they have the support, they will know. They will join the clique. They will join the league of people that have tried. It's not necessarily that we make it once, but when we keep trying, that we get to where we're going and we get what we want.
Thank you, sir. Talking about inspiration, inspiring people, I think the youth this. What is the involvement of the youth, especially your own area you are coming out from?
Involvement in what?
The youth, whether they have been supportive. These days the youth tend to take a laid-back approach while watching elders, so to say, that they won't be given chance.
Mr. Oluwafemi, I discovered something now, that people just need to be inspired. They just want to say new things, and through that they just want to be talked to. They just want to get engaged. Some have given up. They have given up. They don't see that possibilities anymore. When someone like me now in the game, I'm quite glad and happy that people are coming, people are calling, people are coming up They come into the office to talk to the DG, to talk to her. We've seen this. We've heard you talk. We've read your brochure. We've never seen something like this before in this country. In our, at least in their own generation. They are larging out to this campaign. And not even, we've had several community parties and talks, across. We get engaged. Where even some of our opponents have been spending maybe 50,000, 100,000, living without even, they are not even ready to collect anything from us, because we really get them engaged. We really talk to them. We let them see the light that you are not powerless, but you are making yourself, you are thinking you are powerless, and they are writing on you. We give them instances like the project. When you go around now, you see most of these are elected officers, representative. When they do project, you see their names on it. It's like getting me a job, or like Cleveland TV giving you a job, and you're giving you a car, and you're putting your name and your pictures on it. Does that make sense? But people, then the Cleveland staff cannot even talk. The MD cannot talk. Anybody, it's really all go well with it. It's quite funny though, right? It's the same thing that's happening. It's your constituency, it's your money, it's your taxpayers' money. They do the project, they put their names. Why can't we put the name of our best students in schools, or what best entrepreneurs in those pictures? Let them inspire all the people, and invest in our teachers and make things more better. Get pally with them. I think people have not really seen what good governance is all about. Maybe our parents observe it, they experience it, but maybe when we're young, we tend to know more of the military, but not real democracy. And people have not really seen the democracy itself in the real play, or at play. You get what I'm saying? That's what we're saying. The youth, I will tell you categorically, they are ready to get engaged. They are ready to participate. They are ready to be involved and engage. But they just need to see different thing that is different from others, because they are sick and tired of what is happening to them. Their parents have transferred their hope to them. Their dream now, their hope now, their own dream is going down the drain without nothing being achieved. You just need somebody. You just need to listen to. Yeah, some of them are formed, but the world and Bible says, "My people perish because they lack knowledge." But now the Nigerian youth are yearning for knowledge. They're yearning for something to do. They just need someone to come, in a unique way, to let them now tell them what they really, not just want to hear, the reality on ground. I don't need to tell them about Churchill or Roosevelt or Mandela. I'm a living witness. I'm from a noble family. I'll tell them the story of my father. I've been in my constituency. I think I've entered 4 hours, like nothing less than 4 hours, that the parents are blind. Why? Because it's a natural thing to, when you grow older, like cataract and all this, because they don't really have money to do the treatment. They're blind. Could have happened to my father if the children could not come together to pull resources to treat them. How am I different from you guys? Nobody gave me the opportunity for scholarship. I went for it. It was in my own country that gave me the scholarship, and the scholarship are still there. Some of us can just show them the way. I've discovered something in life. At every stage in life, one way or the other, there's a stage in life in which all of us are like blind man trying to cross the main way. They just need someone to hold their hand and take them across. That's who we are. And everyone. Some people will not get anybody to get their hands. They will be afraid. They'll be there. They will grow there. They will die there. Some people might try to make attempt. They will cross. Maybe the car will eat them. And some people will do. Maybe few people will be able to cross without anybody holding their hands. But if we could have a lot of people, which is our government, they could hold their hands to cross the main obstacle. Of course. Why is it Nigerians, when they are here, they are struggling? When they get abroad, in few years, they are established. Why? And God has given us one thing together. 24 hours is the same everywhere in the world. We all have the same 14 billion cells in our head. Why is it that some are progressing and why are we growing in pain? They will tell you, we're still a growing economy, we're still a growing country. Why growing in pain? Joy and fun. It's a question. I think there's a lot to talk about, but if we keep talking, you won't leave it. I know you have other engagement. Is there any other question So you want me to address, please?
Talking about Ambassador Taylor, who actually introduced Cleveland to Spain. So, what can you tell us about him?
Well, that's a very good one. Ambassador Taylor is a friend. He's one of the chairmen, one of the 12 certified. We've been together for quite a while, and we have a very cordial relationship personally, and been a very active member of APC, leader in diaspora. He has his network across not just Spain, or across the globe, and he's a great friend. He's a great man. I think, but we all still need something to improve. It's a lot of challenges, and I hope God will always be with him and to guide him, because see, we're talking political now. That is the Cleveland TV. This is entrepreneurship and trying to promote. He brought it to Spain. I remember when the CEO, the founder, spoke with me. That was like almost 6 months ago. About this, and it's because I've been so busy one way or the other, I've not been able to attend. And okay, you are still in the just like, I've been back, came back, and to cut the story short, he's a great man, and I wish him well in all his endeavors, because he has contributed a lot to the development of APC in diaspora and advancement of APC back home in Nigeria also. And I pray that God will grant him, God will grant us all, not just him, all the diaspora chairmen, now whoever are going to be the chairman also, the future, that God will grant us the wisdom to really lead our people right, because it's not an easy thing. It's not an easy thing. With no budget, wow, it's not an easy thing. He's a great man. That's what I could say about him.
And finally, what is your advice? The election is around the corner, and preparations are ongoing. INEC, the government, the budget. So what's your advice to Nigerians this time around when voting? Or
well, I will tell Nigerians that their situation will not change when they don't change. Their situation will not change if they don't change. They need to sacrifice. They need to understand. They don't need to be comfortable in pain, and because of peanut, sell their own existence, their children and their grandchildren. They have been existing before. They have been surviving before this season of political electioneering, and they will always survive after that. That their PVC is their ultimate power. It's not just to elect, it's also to recall. They should collect if they have not collected, or if that's closed, but they should wait if they are still going to reissue, come out en masse to collect the PVC, not just for the sake of having anything to do with any institution or authorities, but for the sake of going to vote. And if they collect it, they should keep it somewhere safe. They should use it to vote a better candidate, not just the one that could give them rise. If they give them, they should collect. I won't ask them not to collect, but they should vote their conscience. They should vote for a credible candidate in which they should analyze themselves before going to the polling unit. They shouldn't vote because it's my brother or my sister is a male or a female. Check what is the pedigree of this person, because every 4 years we politicians will come and make promises, empty promises, the same promises. After the election, all the promises gone with the wind. Get the better candidate by checking out the pedigree. What has it done to advance, not just to advance himself or herself, but advance his nation? That will give you a guarantee, at least certain guarantees that this person will not misbehave. But if he or she misbehaves, all you need to do, get yourself together, be an active citizen, recall. recall we do two things. When the process we do two things. Either you recall, either the person comes back to start performing before the recalling and you forgive the person, or you recall the person. And when you recall the person, what next? If you follow up, there are two things. Either EFCC net to jail or something else. My advice is for them to vote based on the credibility and not just wait and keep complaining to get involved or ready to recall anybody. Not about sentiment. And there should be a part. Hold them accountable no matter what. All these representative accountable. If you don't do that, the next 4 years is going to be worse. If they are just voting for stomach infrastructures, the future is gone. And the future is going to go down the drain in their own life. Whereby the businessmen, so-called politicians, we always comment, take their children abroad and have fun. Because they're investing. And whoever invested in anything wants to gain. Whoever sells his house or house wants to make sure that he or she builds a better one. Still have extra to renovate or keep it in shape. Whereby at your own detriment, still clapping for people that are not performing. Whereby your rules are what they trash. Your children have no future. Some of them understand their parents are struggling to send them to school. Suddenly the school fees being increased. They couldn't afford to pay. Whereby the salary have never increased. You increase the school fees. Now the children, what we do, get what they call Olosho or whatever now. Before when we were young, we know of only Ashewo, but now we call it Olosho. I was asking what's the difference. They say, the difference is this one that doesn't stay. That doesn't have a location. Which are predominantly the new generation of girls. They want to finish their schools. The contact disease again, the parents are struggling, everything just, it's a ripple effect compared to where we're coming from. It's getting worse. We are building a warfare society rather than a welfare society. So we have what they call a welfare society. That what we need now, and is in their hands. The destiny is in their hand. God will not come down. You have to change their way. They won't die if they don't collect. I will always give one analysis, guys. 40,000 naira. You'll be giving 40,000 naira. Now, hardly before you see any politician giving you 40,000, divided by 4, you get 10,000 per year. Divided by 12, which is 12 months in a year, you get 800 and something. Divided by 31 days in a month, nothing less than 27 naira. That's how you are selling the future of your own child and your children. Come on. You deserve better, you can do better. My conclusion is, people they should shine their hair, analyze all the candidates, be logical, and take a great decision and follow up. 1, participate, involve, engage. That's what they need to do now. And they should know that their PVC is their ultimate power. They have the right to elect, even if it's been rigged against them. Recall can never be rigged against them. Thank you.
Viewers, you have had it up from Ambassador Rilwan Ayoola, the chairman for the Scandinavian APC, and he has also mentioned something that is very critical to voters alike, that your PVC is your power. Vote and vote right. Vote and vote your conscience. Do not vote because you are being given a bag of rice or you are being given a packet of Indomie. No, you are only selling your future. And that will be it today on your political view. He also said recalling the politicians when they don't perform. Aside voting them in, if they don't perform, you have the right, which is still your PVC, to recall them into whatever you want them to do, either to recall them to do right or recall them to be taken by the necessary authority, EFCC and the likes. So your PVC is still your power. it is your ultimate power. So viewers at home, this is where we'll be calling it a wrap on your today's edition of Political View. Thank you very much, Ambassador Rilwan.
Thank you for coming down for this
and I hope each time we'll have the opportunity to call on you for more of this. You oblige us that opportunity, sir.
You're welcome, sir.
Thank you very much, sir. Till we come your way again on your next edition of Political View, I am your host, Oluwafemi from Cleveland TV.